Alright, this is Devlog number 4 of the Game Boy Studio game that I've been working on. Started working on this in the very beginning of July, if I'm not mistaken. So, what are the updates that there happened between Devlog number 3 and Devlog number 4? First things first, I've started doing a little city hub for the city zone that you can go through. There's only like this first level and then the boss that you end up fighting. The second thing is that we have a boss for the first zone. I might as well like show it. It's gonna take a while for it to like load in the actual engine because I just opened Game Boy Studio, so it takes a while to compile, so just give it a brief moment. I think it takes about 30 seconds when you're compiling stuff in Game Boy Studio when you launch the program, and then it becomes faster because it loads that stuff into memory. There's been a few more things that we've done, but I just want to show this was first. And the idea is for every zone, or at least most of the zones, to actually have a boss at the end. But the objective here is to have the ability for a person to do like several levels between areas. Oh yeah, you gotta complete the other levels first before you actually do the boss. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna put myself into the boss area. Just make sure everything is okay. Yes, it is. I'm just gonna put myself over here, and then you get to like see what's going on here with the boss. That's another thing that I implemented. You have to do the previous levels of that zone before you can actually do the boss. And that's using the flag system they have for the variables. But yeah, let's go through this boss. You're gonna see what he does. There's one thing that I don't have implemented yet on him. But yeah, you can see that it starts summoning these robots, and they start attacking you. So the main difficulty of this fight is if you let the boss summon too many of these guys, and they do respawn. I ended up like getting hit by that ball over there. And if you end up doing that, you're going to well, you're gonna put yourself in a bad position. You're going to end up getting killed eventually because you're gonna get overwhelmed by all the different range attacks. So yeah, at the end of it, you get medals. That's kind of the idea. So 1 medal per level and 2 medals per boss. That's kind of the idea. The other thing that I did is I was actually experimenting with a completely different system, and it's not showing the icons over here. That is actually kind of strange. I might have deleted it, but basically it's like a skill tree system. I decided that having like the boxing minigame in order to like train and get stronger kind of takes away a little bit from the actual gameplay. I think having minigames is fine, but those minigames are gonna be they're gonna be optional. They're not mandatory. So let me show you the other thing that I was working on, which was not that, it was this level over here, because I started implementing some new systems here that can make some levels a little bit more interesting. Specifically, like what do you call it? Damn, I'm like forgetting the words at the moment. Navigation wise, that's kind of what I meant. Navigation wise, because we have these these holes over here, like these areas that you can fall into, they don't get you killed, but they can basically teleport you to different locations. They're not teleports, it's like you're going into like pipes and other systems. That's kind of the idea. So this creates some interesting situations because now I have a completely different type of level that I can have, which is like the sewer underwater level type. Now there are no enemies over here just yet. I basically was working on this level layout and like kind of figuring out what the level needed, and I wanted it to be different than the previous Undercity level that I did, because now this actually includes, you know, a little bit of water and also more holes, which this creates like interesting situations where you're like, okay, which one should I go in order to get out? At the same time, I can also have, okay, that one is lacking collisions, but at the same time, I can make you know, I can make it so you end up like falling into different versions of these and landing in different spots, which I think is cool in my opinion. So yeah, this is like the right way. And the other thing, and this is important, not this thing over here. You'll see in a second. Oh yeah, what I'm gonna do is that if you fall over here, you end up like falling into like a back all the way back, so you have to dash through it. But that's not what I was going to show. What I was going to show is this portion over here, because I can actually do a water level now, and there was like no sound over there because I didn't put one yet, but there's going to be like a little splash sound. By like messing with some of the parameters in the game, like the engine parameters, you can change the gravity, how fast you end up falling, and also how much you end up jumping. So I did like tune this a little bit, so you can jump about 8 tiles high, which is 3 tiles higher than normal. Before it was a little bit excessive, so this means I can make some underwater maps, or at least I'm planning for that to be like some water areas where you can go into underwater, and then it kind of changes your platforming a little bit because of your jump height and whatnot, and I think that's pretty cool. What else did I do? I'm not sure if I showed this enemy over here, which is like a simpler one. Might as well. Let me just go over here and just show it off. So yeah, let me just show this enemy over here. When this opens. Just a very simple enemy, and basically just standing in one position, just continuously shooting. The idea that I have is making then making a couple of levels where like it's designed around these guys. These guys are just in like certain positions, and then you just try to kill them in order to like get rid of them. Like that. So yeah, that's kind of the idea. So yeah, this was devlog number 4. I know that the game doesn't have any music. The plan is to develop the game further, and when it's like at a good point where I can actually think about. So Kickstarter is not possible in my country. It's not available. But I'm thinking of like other sources of actually getting a little bit of funding for the game, because this game needs its own OST, so its own music. I'm not able to do any music. It would take years and years and years in order for me to be able to even do like anything that would be like remotely okay for the game, and that would draw too much game development time, which won't be good for the game either. So So yeah, that's kind of like my thoughts. Thank you for watching this devlog 4. I'll see if I come back with another one in maybe a week or two when I have a bit more. Take care and have a good one.